Yeah, I saw that, and we need to talk about it just briefly because a couple people have pointed out. If you click on this comment and click see comment, you can go watch the video. It's a video of somebody who is clearly unqualified to cut down a tree, cutting down a tree. And as this 50-foot tree began to fall towards the house, the guy tried to push it. He goes, no, 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 like he's going to just kind of shoulder it over and not hit the house, right? And I understand that in the moment, instinctually, you're trying to prevent a catastrophe. You're trying to prevent a disaster. And you might instinctively try to do something like that. Push a 50-foot tall tree over in order to not hit the house. Here's why you should try your best to train your brain to not do shit like that. I mean, obviously, first and foremost, he's lucky that tree didn't roll the other way and just crush him to death in that front yard. But story time for you. In 1992, I worked for a carnival. Yes, I am a former carny. I wanted to get the fuck out of Dodge and travel and go fucking see what the world had to offer and see what life had to offer. And so I hooked up with a carnival, and I spent the summer and fall of 92 traveling around doing carnival work. First ride I ran was the Zipper for a couple of weeks, and then they moved me to a new ride called the Force 10. You can Google what a Force 10 carnival ride is to get an idea of it. But anyway, we used to have to set up and tear down these carnival rides, and there were the big rides, and there were the everybody that had their own game did their own game, and then there was the food stuff that had to be broken down and done up, and then there was Kittyland. Now, let's talk about this one particular instance having to do with one of the kiddie rides. It was one of those rides, I'm sure you've seen it. It's like 4 giant strawberries that 4 or 5 people can climb inside of one strawberry, and it's got a wheel inside, and the 4 strawberries go around in a circle, and you can turn the wheel and turn your individual strawberry. You guys have seen it. Sometimes it's strawberries, sometimes it's something else. Anyway, those 4 strawberries sit on 2 bars that when you pull the right amount of pins, the bars fold up in a line, and then there's a winch or a cable on the front of that, or not a cable, an iron hook on the front of that you then take a cable from a winch on a trailer, and you hook up to that, and you pull the whole thing up onto a trailer, right? And then you secure it down, and then you hook the trailer up to a truck, and you take it to the next town. Anyway, we're in the breakdown process one night, and the guy closes up the thing, puts the pins in, hooks the winch up to it, and starts to pull it up onto the trailer, right? And he's standing at the head of the trailer where the trailer would meet the truck, and he's turned the winch on, and it's there's a hand crank and there's an automatic winch. And he's got the automatic winch going, and it's pulling this heavy ass ride up onto the trailer, and something goes wrong, and the automatic part breaks, and the ride starts to slide back down. And when it starts to slide back down, it's taking the cable that's attached to it. Well, what happens when that happens, right? The cable is going, so the hand crank is now going zzz, right? Because the ride's pulling the cable, and the cable is now pulling that hand winch in the opposite direction. What does this guy do? He goes to grab the hand winch to see if he can stop this fucking ride from falling off the trailer. Shatters all of the bones in both of his hands. Why? Because there's an extraordinarily heavy carnival ride pulling that cable. You are not strong enough to reach in and stop it. You're not the fucking Hulk. And it was just instinctive, right? It wasn't like he planned this out, but it was still a stupid fucking move. And he went to the hospital that night with fucking broken hands. So the moral to the story is if you're involved in something like that, if the tree is falling towards the house because you fucked up, if the carnival ride is pulling the winch and the thing's going nuts, if the machine is out of control and it's heavier than you are and there's no way you're going to be able to stop it, get the fuck out of its way. Get the fuck back and let it do what it's going to do. Eventually, gravity is going to stop it from doing whatever it is it's going to do, and then you deal with the aftermath afterwards. Or try to be a hero and go to the emergency room.